Gary Neville looking for his first goal for Manchester United. What a time to get it!
A huge night at Old Trafford as United look to extend their run of just one defeat in 7, but West Ham arrive as genuine problem side, having beaten us in 4 of the last 5 league meetings. Form says United, history says West Ham. Perfect setup for a massive clash. How are we, boys? How's things going?
Good.
Ask again in 12 hours.
Oh, Tom, I was looking forward. I listened to your final podcast today and I felt for you, mate. There was a tear in my eye, I tell you. I was feeling for you. I was feeling because I had that one when I stopped the last one and I came back strong. I'm not going to let you move away, mate. You're too good on podcasts. So I'm going to be happy.
No, look, I'll never go away from talking about Manchester United. There's nothing more I do enjoy, but in terms of I do appreciate and understand the effort. It does go into sort of running these, but all the effort is definitely appreciated. But yeah, such a good day, I think, for Manchester United fans, and watching Chelsea drop points, watch Liverpool drop points, Tottenham and Newcastle both drop points of the previous day. And the ball is in United's court, as it has been on so many times previously, and United have dropped the ball on those occasions. So look, the hope in us, obviously, yeah, we can beat West Ham. You can go beat West Ham, Wolves there 6 points, and on paper, it looks like that could happen. We've had that view many times, and it hasn't happened. So, but there is hope there, of course, and that's all we have at the moment.
And we've got Sefwan in the house as well, all the way from KL, Mancunians. How are you, buddy? You doing all right?
I'm good, Adam. How are you? How's everyone doing down in Australia? I hope everyone's doing good. And feeling determined for today's tonight. I mean,
KL weather, mate.
Say again?
The humidity's hot.
Yeah, it's actually pouring rain for the past few weeks. Yeah, but we are still going strong, and hopefully an early, a late kickoff for us back here in Kuala Lumpur. I think in Australia it'll be about 7 a.m. in the morning.
7 a.m. Definitely.
Yeah,
it's
going to be a 4 a.m. Kickoff here in Malaysia. So I think it'll be a challenging for us to wake up. Hopefully, all of us are wide awake later on.
I think, if anything, it'll just be hard to stay awake if United plays. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it most of the cases that if the boys start playing in a slow pace, it sounds like, okay, I'm going off to bed again. I'll wake up in the second half. That kind of feeling. I hope that they start playing it at a good pace, and then we are up awake throughout all the whole 90 minutes, and hopefully for a win then.
And it's good to see Yoni back. We got Yoni back. We missed him the other day for the live.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for this game because if we win, we are equal points to title challengers Chelsea. Everyone 2 days ago were like, Chelsea's are title challengers. They can do it. They're only 4 points behind. Blah 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 blah. If we win, we're on equal footing.
I don't see many clubs winning a title that lose 3-1 to Leeds.
I'm sure we've seen it.
Well, I was going to introduce Jordan. He's had a busy week on the building side. He's actually a little bit red. So, have you been wearing a hat?
Sunburn? No, I didn't say.
He's a little red devil, isn't he?
He's a little red devil.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I apologize.
Yeah, and secretly, Jordan doesn't mind Leeds, so I'm going to put him in there.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. There's a player that plays for Leeds that I was a big fan of when he was at Middlesbrough. And now he plays for... he doesn't play for Leeds anymore. He plays for Sheffield United.
Yeah.
I can think of another Leeds player that you would have liked back when you were a kid. Oh, maybe it was pre-Jordan. Pre-Jordan, actually.
Oh,
Eric.
well before Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan never saw any of the 90s, late 80s and 90s.
It might even be pre-Jordan's parents. I don't know.
Hey, my mum wasn't 10 when she had me.
All right, let's get into it. I don't know if any of you saw Ruben Amorim's press conference, but oh shit, just knocked me desk. His press conference. You know what? The first thing I took out of that press conference was he was talking about social media, and and how he doesn't get involved in it. He doesn't look at it. He tries to keep his family away from it and everything like that. He doesn't read any of it. He tries to protect himself from it. And I think he's trying to bring that into his players as well. But, I mean, it doesn't seem to be working real good. But I think this week with Lenny Euro having a tough game and sort of taking it out on himself, I think it's going to be good for him to probably get that across to the younger players.
I think it's impossible, though. I'll be honest. Like when like this era where even like, you know, maybe people Van Dijk's age and stuff like that, because he always says all this kind of shit. But I think for young kids, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, it's impossible for them not to pay attention to it. Like it's what they grew up with for the last 15 years. Like, you know, like, and I also think when you play for Man United, you know, the club that pushes social media, like it pushes it. You interview, you do this, you do this, you do this. We're going to chuck it on
commercial
Instagram.
aspect so high. Of the
Yeah. So how can you avoid it? You know, it's like you know how gambling's bad for you, but we promote gambling all the time in sports. Similar situation. Social media is bad for you, but we will promote it, and we want you to do it all the time.
Yeah, it is a tough one. And look, Tom, you particularly, if anyone listens to Tom's podcast, we often speak about it, don't we, Tom? When we're talking about bagging players and stuff like that, and it does get hard to try and stay level-headed. When especially myself, try and stay level-headed. Christ Almighty, when Lenny Euro got that goal on the weekend, shit. I know Tom's very good at that. How do you go about that, Tom?
It's nothing to do with me in regards to I'm not on the receiving end of it when you compare it to the players. But I think it is hard because the same discussion we have at the pub or the same discussion we have here can be the same discussion you have online on Facebook or Twitter. But when words are on a screen, they stick. Even though the same conversation, and someone in terms of when they read something and sort of read a message, it can be interpreted very differently compared to when you hear someone or in terms of the context. So think of the absolute nonsense where we've discussed and argued and shouted at pubs or when you're having a chat with your mates. It's forgotten about. The players don't hear about it. It's nothing. But now they're tagged in it and it's always brought to their attention. And yeah, in terms of their rage, they can say, okay, they're not going to scroll through social media. They are. But a player, and the managers play quite different because a player, they get into quarantine, I assume, at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. And by mid-afternoon, by 2 o'clock, they're probably out. And they have absolutely nothing to do now. Now, a young 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, they're going to be scrolling through their phone. It is avoidable. It's unavoidable, sorry. But I think for Ruben Amorim, I think his honesty there is probably pretty accurate. I think in terms of the manager, he's getting to training probably at 7:30 in the morning, and he's probably not leaving until 6 or 7 at night. In terms of that's sort of almost the day of a Premier League manager in terms of all their duties, and especially a Manchester United manager. I don't think Ruben Amorim has time in terms of he's literally just being interviewed by Sky Sports every 2 seconds, so he probably doesn't have time to go through it and sort of read everything. But it is hard as a fan because we do want an honest discussion and throw all our opinions out there. But when those honest opinions are harsh and they're stuck online for everyone to pick apart and sort of shove down the players' throats, the players they're human. We can sit here and say, oh, they're highly paid. They should be sort of able to deal with criticism. Yeah. But they're human. They're not going to always be able to.
I think I like what you're saying there, Tom, but I think there's a line where as a professional athlete, you should be able to take criticism, but it's got to be based on performances or attitude that's being shown in your performance. I don't think we can be
It's not that. It's not that. It's gone past that. There's no.
That's what I mean. That's where I think it's wrong.
If someone misplaces a pass, if Diogo I'm not singling out Dalot, I'm sure we'll get into him and look at people's different opinions. If Diogo Dalot misplaces a pass against West Ham, it's not going to be, oh, that was a bad pass. He should have done that. It will be, sell this Portuguese effing thing and get him out of my effing club.
Which is where I think it's wrong. And I think that's where passion and probably especially with Manchester United, probably the past 10, 12 years where we've struggled and we've had ups and downs and no players have been consistent. We don't have the patience with players that we probably did once upon a time. I feel like now we're a bit more, we don't judge players on simple mistakes and errors. We're a bit more, what would the word be, but like cutthroat with the way we speak about them after games and stuff. If it was to perform bad, like I feel like, I don't know, I think sometimes the way some people talk, I'm probably critical of it as well. I think it's probably a bit over the top.
It's a societal thing now in regards to everything at our fingertips. Take away from football, we can fix any issue we have in our life now. Click a button. We want something from the shops and we're not. We can order it. We can fix that issue straight away. When we see a player make a mistake on the other side of the world or in the stands, we can't do anything about it. We get frustrated. Well, we have no control over that situation, and we lash out. And I think everyone's so angry just in life in general, in terms of where we are, especially with sport and supporting Manchester United. And when we don't have any control over that, that's when you sort of you do lash out.
Yep, agreed.
It's definitely an interesting one. What's it like at your supporters club, Safwan, when it comes to players and not players, to the supporters club and their passion? I've been around your supporter club. Everyone's quite calm when they're watching the game.
Well, it's always calm on a game, but to be honest with you, on WhatsApp, on the social media group, it can get pretty nasty. Seriously, I mean, you will criticize and they'll talk about it. I mean, there's nothing much you can do. Some of them think that they could be a better manager. You know, the way they speak. I can't deny that. You know, it gets irritating at times. But I mean, they have their voice to voice out. You know, so for the past, it was quite calm and quiet for the past few weeks, right up to the game that we lost to Everton, and then that's it. The bomb just exploded. That's it. You know, everybody start criticizing again. I was like, well, you have your say, you have your points, but I think that loss to Everton was actually a good thing, that you know, to ensure that the players are on their toes. You know that you can't be winning all the games. You had drawn and then you lost, and hopefully that was a turning point for them to start winning again. So on the supporters club, on the fan base back here, um, you know, you have this group of this Amorin out and so on. I said when they start winning, they said, "Are you guys still in or out?" And then they just keep quiet. And then now, I think
Yeah.
it's quite quiet on the Amorin in and out here back here. But I think they are more criticizing on the individual players itself now. So the most criticized player from our side here is actually Dalot. And
Yeah, right.
he is. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I think he has been underperforming this season. Uh, not what he was for previous season, but every time that when Dalot comes in, you know, people said when you take out Casemiro and you bring Dalot in, and then that's it, the game changes. So yeah, for me, I think the most criticized player that we always criticize back here is Dalot currently. Other than that, I think everyone's praising Maguire. You know, ever since he's got that winning goal. So yeah, I mean,
That
you know,
will change though. But at the moment, and I agree, you can see we're not blind. It's Deloitte. It was who was before that, Canacho. There will always be a 6-week spell where it's someone. I think, unfortunately, and it's not going to be me, but you do know how this cycle goes. It's going to be Lenny Yoro next. In terms of
Yeah.
he'll get a 6 weeks period. It was McTominay, it was Bruno, it was Casemiro. It was a problem. Everyone is always a problem, and it's a flavour of the month. And Deloitte has been it. I thought he's actually quite decent against Crystal Palace. Fingers crossed he can continue that form, and we will shift our focus somewhere else. And at the moment, Lenny Yoro, 2 or 3 weeks has looked a bit off it. So coming into January, we're looking at transfers and everything. He's now be thrown in there, and that's going to affect our opinion. And there's always a right to look and criticise and say, okay, this player's not performing. What can we do about that? But, and I assume every club is the same, but Manchester United is obviously the most highlighted. But just go back over the last, I'm sure if someone had a calendar, you could almost bookmark it. There is always a player over a month. Here's the problem. If we get him out of the team and we play this player instead of this player, we'll be better. And it's been the same for 10 years, whether it be David De Gea, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, Ronaldo was the problem, Marcus Rashford, Canacho. Every player has had their spell. And look, fingers crossed this is not the case. If I was a betting man, Lenny Yoro is going to be next.
Actually, I reckon Amorim will take him a bit out of the spotlight even more. Because now that Martinez is back as well, although actually once Maz goes to AFCON, maybe he won't have a choice. But
it's an interesting one, especially in his press conference. He was saying there's likely to be 2 players out this weekend, and he didn't drop any names. He didn't even talk about Maguire coming back in or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know whether he's talking about Bruno, because Bruno was early in that game. I noticed he was holding his hamstring. Was it early in the game or second half or something like that? So it'd be interesting to see where that lies, because it's very, very rare that obviously that Bruno is out through injury, and whether he'll bring Mainu in or I don't know. It was a weird one when he said that.
Bruno, only because out of all the players we have, if you're going to hide one of them not being in the squad, it would probably be Bruno. Like every other time we've had an injury or anything like that, to be like, oh yeah, it looks like he's not going to make it to this game. He's not going to make it to this game. But it's just strange for it to be now. So that's why it could be Bruno, I reckon, as well.
It'd be weird not seeing him out there, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably lose.
I don't know if for every game.
But when he doesn't play, we lose. Like it is a fact. So
Good on you.
Yanni, let's try and keep this podcast upbeat.
What a dick.
I just said that when he doesn't, I'm more than happy to be
Yeah. I got a comment in the and it's a perfect example, really. Netty 81K. Look at Xerxes, scores a cracker, and everyone forgets how ordinary he's been. So I mean, he really hasn't had a chance to prove himself, to be honest with you. But
you need to run a game. You can't just come in, play a game every 5 games, and then be like, "Oh, you see his shit." Because if that's the case, why do people not say the same thing for Mainu, who comes in once every 5 games, does nothing, and yet people are still like, "Oh, I want Mainu to play. I want Mainu to play." Like,
and that's the biggest problem we've got, haven't we? Most of our fans are bipolar. So, what do you call it? Like, especially Xerxes. Okay, the week before he probably had a bit of an ordinary game, but you got to. It's like a new player coming in. He hasn't played for what, probably 6 months, really, for a start. And then all of a sudden,
I'll tell you what, with Xerxes, off the back of that goal, and football has a weird thing of the way things play out. The smallest little thing can influence a career, can influence a season hugely. That song at the end of the game against Crystal Palace, I'm telling you, Joshua Xerxes scores 2 or 3 more goals before Christmas, and that song takes off. I'm telling you, Joshua Xerxes' career, his Man United career was in jeopardy come January. If Manchester United was getting off and he wanted to go, good chance Xerxes was off in January. Could save his United career. A simple song. The way Crystal Palace, they played it over loudspeaker, the United fans picked up on it and just ran with it after Joshua Xerxes scored his goal. I'm not saying Joshua Xerxes is going to save Manchester United. He's going to go on and have a great career. Just in terms of the way the momentum builds and in weird places. I just have a feeling he scores 1 or 2 more goals. That is a song that he's going to catch on. And there's always a song every season which United fans latch onto and sort of it unites everyone. And it could weirdly be Joshua Xerxes, who has divided so much opinion since his time at United, could actually be the one to unite us when we're potentially, hopefully, getting a bit of an upturn in form.
Yeah, I'd love to see Xerxes come good, especially like you need 2 strikers that are well. We're struggling with. Well, I don't think we're struggling with Sesko. I think Sesko does hold the ball up well. He's just got to get his finishing right. And obviously Jordan's touched on that a fair few times on this pod, but it'd be good to actually get those 2 working together and, have 2 strikers that can come in and, do a great job for us. I mean, at the time, and Amarin also touched on like players only getting the opportunity to play one game at the moment. And it is frustrating. I think first game of FA Cup is generally 4th round or something like that in January. So, so maybe like he might mix everything up and then plays after in January, things may change for a lot of these players that, especially when AFCON's on, a lot of these boys that have been holding on to a few grudges, not getting selected. Hopefully they haven't been holding grudges, but, they come in and prove themselves, which we need more than ever now, especially we need them to take advantage of that, at least take advantage of 3 points tomorrow and then jump that table, because I think that'll be a massive confidence booster for the whole team again, because I think this team does rely on that confidence.
Yeah, I agree with that. Confidence is everything. I think momentum's everything in sport. I think if you're going into a game thinking and like with the belief you're going to win, But actually, one thing's saying it, another thing's actually believing it. I think that's the most powerful thing in the sport, to be honest.
This podcast has really been a philosophy lesson today. I've been enjoying it.
Philosophy lesson, you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like I should go back to uni,
Well, if you read some of the comments in YouTube, there's a lot of fucking morons in the
Mate, I've been
comments. I don't
seeing
know
it.
who's-
Confident.
No, I think there's a few blokes just trying to stir us up a little bit in here, calling us a bunch of retards and shit like that. So
Oh, really?
I'm doing a lot of blocking at the moment. So if you're on here, you want to take the piss out of each one of us, we don't give a fuck. We just block you. So, yeah. So we're easy, yeah.
Yeah, so, but you guys look at the games that's coming up to Christmas. I think it's all on paper. Like we always like to use that word, on paper. It's all winnable games. We should win all these games, and hopefully. But people always say that on the Boxing Day, on Christmas, that's to determine where you're going to end of the season. So I think this is a time right now that the whole squad should take the advantage to compete between each other and to play good football. And ending up, you wouldn't know that you might be in the top three, or maybe you might win the league. I mean, it's Arsenal's title to lose. Let's be frank with it. But I think with the current performance that the team is going, today's game for me, it's a kickstart where we're going to end up to end of the season. I think this game will start to end of December. So I think they should take advantage of it. And like what Adam was saying, with players going on the AFCON coming up. But the good news is that we could keep some of the players for at least about a few more games before they leave. So Xerxes being in and with Sesko injured, I think I do agree that this it's time for him to prove his worth, that he is to be in the first 11. And let's not take it on Mason Mount as well. Mason Mount was criticized throughout his career in United, but let's hope that the goal that he scored last week is a turning point for him to cement his place in the squad itself. And with Ahmad leaving and Bumo leaving for AFCON, so I hope these players will gel up and perform well.
Yeah, look, I think Matthias Cunha's back, which would be good. I don't know if he'll start, though. That's the thing. I don't think he'll start. Surely not. Because you wouldn't think he'd start. As far as that goes, you know what? Knowing Ruben Amorim, he usually starts with the side that was doing best like the week before. So Mason Mount will probably come back in on that left-hand side.
It probably will be unchanged from Palace, really. Other than
you think it'll be unchanged? What about if Bruno's out? Who's coming in for him?
Yeah, if we have two people out, though, it will definitely be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's fair. I'm just trying to.
I mean, if it's,
I don't know.
Yeah, I can actually see him then chucking like Mount in instead. I don't know if you put Mount where Bruno. Oh no, he'll put Maino in and then maybe Mount, Cunha, and Xerxes. Or maybe
I would like to see Cunha, at least if he doesn't start, get the full second half. I don't know if he's fit enough for that, but I like the idea.
It depends what the actual injury
at
was.
West Ham, because if you've seen a lot of the goals West Ham have conceded, they're actually teams running at them with the ball.
Mm-hmm. But that was that was a bit more before Nuno, right? And they were also copying
Graham Potter.
Yeah, and they were copying heaps of set pieces goals, but now it's not Graham Potter anymore.
Yeah, they're a bit tighter now. They're a bit better. Nuno's not a bad manager, to be fair, but Paquetá got sent off.
Yeah, that's good because he is gone.
That was the worst second yellow I think I've seen in a long time. And
He's
he
not
wonders
helping his
why.
allegations. He's betting allegations. It just looked like he had money on a red card for himself.
That's what I mean, man. He just made the allegations go, well, come on. How could... Like,
I've got a comment here from Robbie Mariara. Martinez left centre back, Shaw wing back, Bruno out injured. If Bruno's out injured, Mount moving inside. Thoughts?
Shaw's not going to be wing back because Amorim said in the press conference that he's not going to do that, didn't he? Because he needs to.
Yeah, he did say that because he thinks it's a what do you call it? He was talking about players moving positions all the time. It's creating a lot of chaos through the team at times.
We've said since the start of the season, brings on subs and the whole
Yeah, but ironically,
team
in
changes.
the same press conference, though, ironically, he also talks about how Dallo is really good because he can put him on the right or on the left. I'm like, oh, okay.
You
Two
have to see
different
him kick
points.
with either feet, probably.
I think
Yeah.
with Luke Shaw, there's just we have this picture in our minds of him as a left back and a left wing back, and the attributes he can bring when he plays well there. He's not going to play there anymore in his career. I think he's now. I wouldn't define him as a centre back, but in a 2 or a 3, however you do want to look at it. But I think managers now, and probably even him personally, view him as a left centre back, and I think that's we have in our mind that he can play left. I just don't think it's going to happen. So. Look, it's a straight shootout between Lysandro Martinez and Luke Shaw. I think it'll be
And
Luke Shaw there. It's still a long road for Lysandro Martinez to get back properly fit. I think for the next best part of a month, it's going to be what we did see against Crystal Palace in terms of coming on the last 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't want to
Look,
rush
me as a
out.
fan, I'd love to see him back out there. I do think it's going to be a little bit more of the same. And look, Luke Shaw is one of those players like Diago. He could easily cop it for a 6-week Luke Shaw, and we could be sitting here saying, how on earth is this guy still at this club? The wages have been paying, the injuries. Like it or not, managers trust him. They just do. And I think if Luke Shaw is fit, he's, whether we like it or not, is an experienced player in that team. And Manchester United need experience in this situation. And I do think he's going to be number one in that spot for the next month or so.
Well, I think
mate,
anyone that knows football defensively, right? Sorry to cut you off, Adam, but anyone that knows
you're good. Yeah.
like football and has a good IQ for it and understands the game knows that Luke Shaw is he's a fucking player, but he's just never available. Like I seen a thing, he's been at the club now for 11 years and he's played 300 times. It's average of 27 games per season. That's pretty abysmal. But at the same time, he's obviously had horrible injuries, and I'm not saying that it's all his fault in that. But the reason managers trust him is because when he is fit, his football IQ of knowing how to defend one-on-one and how to show certain spaces to the attacking players is quite high.
We'll be having a very different discussion today. And again, I'll put a lot of it down to actually Eddie and Nketiah, but that tackle he did on the weekend, that was a huge tackle. I thought it wasn't the greatest sort of bit of attacking play by the striker.
Yeah.
But visually, it looked like a very good bit of defending. I just think, look, next week he could miss that tackle and they go through and they win 1-0. Well, obviously, it was good execution. But, yeah, I agree with everything you said there, Jordan, whether we like it or whether we want different attributes to see it as a defender and as a player. In terms of a manager putting a team together, you can certainly see the benefits in what Luke Shaw brings.
Yeah.
I really wish it was Luke Shaw 5 years ago, though, because I can see him like being exactly what we need on the left side instead of Dogo, where like he has the final ball, he does run the channel, like he overlaps like so well. Like when it was him and Rashford, and he'd overlap Rashford, like he really would have been perfect for what we need right now.
He had the pace there too, didn't he?
Yeah. And he's also like he's stocky, so he's kind of like
it was weird that he had so much pace and he was stocky, but he didn't look like he would be able to run
a bulldog.
fast. Yeah.
You know?
Well, he started all 13 league games today. I went a bit.
Well,
I was doing a bit of search on him and trying to get a bit of background on him about this season and stuff like that. And I came across a stat. I don't know if any of you blokes saw it, but he's played 1,028 minutes this season compared to 348 minutes last season.
Amarim said that the preseason they really worked on like prepping him up for the season and like ensuring that like they've done the right work so he doesn't feel overloaded now throughout the season.
Well, if you actually think about his movements when he actually plays on that left side, if you actually watch him, he doesn't run awfully that much. Do you know what I mean? It's quite maybe a push into the midfield, but it's not a constant up and down type of thing. Where I think, as Tom said earlier, that left centre back role now after his leg break and all that kind of suits him more. It's a bit more of a plays the game in front of him all the time, defends as he normally would on a left-hand side, but there's nothing about getting up and down the wing. He doesn't have to put those cross into the box all the time. He doesn't have to get involved in the attack. It's almost a bit more of like a settled role that his body can probably handle.
I think that's just a natural, and not to say he's old, and obviously you look at the time he's spent in the career. Obviously, he's getting towards the latter stage of his career. But I think any player in any position, naturally, whether they change positions into a certain role or just adapt their play, always want the game in front of them. The prime
Correct.
example, like a Ryan Giggs, so go bombing forward. Changing to central midfield. Okay, different position, of course, but also he then wasn't bombing forward. People forget, and when he was in central midfield, you wouldn't call him Michael Carrick or Paul Scholes, but he kind of played that role a little bit. It looked
He
very
dictated
different.
the game.
He dictated the game. He wasn't sort of bombing forward, scoring goals. And I think now Luke Shaw, you give him the choice: can he get the ball and pass it forward and stay in position, or can he bomb forward and have the risk of I've got a 60-meter run to get back? I think any experienced player will take the option now. Name a player late. I'm not going to call Luke Shaw in his late 30s, but let's say a player late in his career, late 30s, who bombs forward now. Maybe there is a player I'm missing, but who's a player who bursts to get in the box now? Forget Cristiano
Not at
Ronaldo.
that age.
He just sort of sits there. I think any player sort of coming towards the latter stages of their career will always choose to have that option to just have the game in front of them.
Well, perfect example, and he's not a Manchester United player, but a perfect example of what you said was Frank Lampard. His whole career was driving in the box late. And then in his later stages, when he actually played for Manchester City and he played for the New York City and things like that, he actually just sat outside the 18-yard box. He didn't actually bomb into the box. Just a small little, comparison. But that's exactly like what you're saying, where players adapt their play style to suit kind of their age and athleticism, I guess.
It's when we say one of the positives we talk about a young player. We talk about a young player. It's universal language. You say they play with no fear. They play with no fear. The reason we say that is because when you get older, you do play with fear, and that fear is not so much making a mistake or losing a game. My fear when I sort of got to the end was I don't want to make that run forward because I know I won't have to run back, so I'm just going to sit here.
That's a very good way to put it.
We've all been through it, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but that's exactly what it is. It is a bit laughable, but that is that kind of fear which players do go through. I think it is far easier, but I say easier, not in a calling players cowards or they're taking the easy way out. But it is easier for a player to sort of take that step back and watch the game in front of them.
Yep, agreed.
Look, Luke Shaw, the best spell Luke Shaw's ever had was with Marcus Rashford, wasn't it? Like down that left-hand side, their combinations were unreal until I think it was Shaw got injured, and then I think Malaysia started coming in for him a little bit there, and then I can't remember who I think at times we even put Lindelof out there at times.
Lindelof
it was
on the left. Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
He did. He played a lot in the left.
Yeah.
Ashley Young as well.
Ashley Young. Oh, Ashley Young, he still bombs. Like, he's probably a prime example. He is a player that later on in his career still tried to get forward a lot.
I'd love to do not to take over the show here, Adam, but I'd love to have a look as a whole show because it divided my opinion on Ashley Young's time at Manchester United.
Oh, mate, I'd be in on that straight away.
I don't know. Was he absolutely brilliant or was he woeful? I just think there's arguments for both, and I think we probably overlook his time because it left not in a great didn't leave a great taste in regards to he wasn't performing great. He was the captain. Manchester United weren't performing, but I do think given all the situations, I thought maybe he deserves a little bit more respect for his time at Manchester United than we probably sort of gave him at the end.
Oh, definitely. Look, Ashley Young used to do me head. He used to do me head big.
I remember a pre-season match. It might have been. It must have been Perth. It was a pre-season match, and we must have been sitting next to each other or something. And he's done whatever, misplaced a parcel, and you've gone nuts. And I'm going, it's pre-season against bloody Perth or whoever it was against.
I'd like to welcome Anderson into the chat. He is the president of the KL Mancunian Club. Welcome to the channel, Anderson.
Hi guys, how are all of you? Hi Adam, thanks for having me in here. Sorry, a bit late.
Mate, how are you?
I'm
Welcome.
good, mate. I'm good. Thanks.
So
I'm going to introduce you to Tom. Tom has just became our vice chairman. Tom, isn't it? Vice chairman of our.
That's what I've been told the label is.
Yeah, vice chairman of our supporters club. So congratulations to him too. Like, well deserved. Tom, well deserved because he's
Speech.
Trying to look for something supporters club related around here.
You are the supporters club, mate. So we might exchange details, Anderson and Tom, later on,
definitely.
and you can have a great chat about the clubs and stuff like that. But all right, moving on with United. So we've spoken about Luke Shaw, Ashley Young. I've actually got a comment in here. Ashley Young compared to these current fullbacks / wing backs. He just looks like a prime Lamar.
Fucking 40-year-old Ashley Young compared to them would be all right. Like at least it's all in box.
Yeah.
Young was a scoring left back. Shall I put it that way? Yeah. Whereas Shaw I think is quite a smart player. Actually, we miss him a lot when he was injured out. So he's not the fastest, but his passing is quite good, and he links up well with Rashford last time. But both are different players to me. Both are different players. Yeah.
You know what?
Young started as a winger, but Shaw has been a left back all this while. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're right. What used to do me with Ashley Young more than anything was when he used to take dives. He was the worst player at taking dives I've ever seen in my life.
And they weren't even good dives either.
No, they were shocking,
terrible.
Man. Yeah. Mate, he was terrible. When I used to play park football, we used to have one guy, I won't drop his name, but like seriously, mate, he would be the worst bloke I've ever seen take dives, and Ashley Young was up there with him. I'll tell you what.
To be fair, I had a guy when I played, under 15, 16s, who was a very good diver, and I was a penalty taker in our team that year. So I loved it because we got so many penalties, and I nearly got golden boot from centre back, just on penalties.
Yeah. Look, the other thing I wanted to touch on too was I hear FIFA has allowed Ahmed, Mazraoui, and Mbumo to extend their time before they have to go into the AFCON, which is unreal for United. So
I think they've done it with a few players, not just United. Because somebody
remember Onana never missed a game for United.
Unfortunately,
remember Onana never missed a game for United.
Would have been nice if he did.
I try to forget.
Is he with United? I don't remember.
One of the big ones for the AFCON is Sunderland, for example. They played
That's what I was
Newcastle the week before it starts. So they've put in to have because I think it's 7 or 8 of their starting 11 are going to AFCON. So they've put in to at least have them for the
Newcastle
the derby.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking of as well.
Yeah. They're going to struggle now because they got like 7 or 8 starters.
Yeah. Also in the in the press conference, he was touching on Carlos Fernandez. Our if anyone doesn't know who that is, that's our set piece coach. So and he was touching on the preseasons. They had a massive meeting about scoring more goals, and how he even openly admitted about copying other teams and things like that. Like I don't usually enjoy press conferences, but this one I actually enjoyed. He opened up about a lot of things in this press conference. So it's good to see that United, like from the throw-ins, from the corners. I remember beginning of last season, like we couldn't score off a corner to save our life.
Yeah. We were conceding.
Sorry, Anderson?
We were conceding instead of scoring.
Didn't we have a thing where we had like in the 90s like set pieces that we didn't score from or something? It was like 90 in a row or something that we didn't.
That's crazy to think you've had.
I could be wrong.
In the 90s. We had one of the best set piece takers ever in the 90s.
Oh, no. There was 9.
We had so much of success. We had so much of success that we didn't realize that we missed those set pieces,
Oh my God, Adam.
I didn't know. Cut out. So I thought you said
90 attempts in a row.
Oh,
we
right.
did.
Okay.
Really?
Sorry.
Scoring.
Wow.
The
Thinking,
90s.
what?
Look at him bark up
I don't know
there.
if it's true. I just remember this in my head.
Yeah, no, look, I do remember hearing that, but there was a time that was the case. But that is again something that it's just stuck, because I remember even this season when we get a corner and everyone goes, "Come on, okay, look, here's a corner," and I'm sitting there going, "We're not going to score. What's everyone jumping up and down about?" However, if you do look at the stats, we've got as
we're
many
like
set
third
piece
or
goals as Arsenal do, and Arsenal are lauded for it.
Yeah,
I think we're tied first with Arsenal, and I just think there's a narrative that Arsenal score on every set piece, and we can't score off a set piece to save our lives. That's just a feeling. It's a feeling we have as fans. The numbers tell a completely different story. So maybe we do need to.
I think Delete adds a lot to that too, because I think he's incredible in the air.
Well,
His
I
way
think
he
it's also
reads
that
the flight of the ball.
we're also much better now at winning second balls, not just in set pieces, but just in general. And
I agree.
and I think that helps, because obviously, corner, somebody headers it, we win the ball back.
Well,
score the
was
goal.
it Sesko that scored, Johnny, where we had a long throw and it came in and he we
Yeah,
got flicked
go
it on
long
and then
throw.
he
Yeah,
ran
yeah,
it and this across the goal.
The defender flicked it on and he was behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the second phase of the play, and we won that. If he's on his toes for that, if taps it in.
Yeah.
I like
be
that
fair,
from a striker. I think
to be
that's
fair, some of those I saw Man United put out on their YouTube a video of all our set piece goals this year, and to be fair, some of them were a good 20, 30 seconds after a set piece, like the ball being cleared, and we bring it back out. And so that's to be,
Well, what was the game where I'm trying to think what game it was? It was a few weeks ago now. Oh, I think it was before what do you call it, international break. We were winning second ball, third ball, mate. I can't remember the game. It was just that good a game. We
Liverpool, because that happened a lot.
Yes, it was Liverpool. Yeah, we were winning second ball all the time, second and third ball. It was Liverpool. Yeah, and that's the that's I think that's the key to this side. And look, in the first half of last week, passes were going astray. We couldn't even make a meter pass last week. And then the second ball, third ball, we weren't even involved in it because we kept turning over the ball that cheaply. So, look, tomorrow it's a big thing at Old Trafford to get those 3 points for sure.
Well, our formation's based on winning second balls. Like if you think about it, we play 3 central defenders and 3. Technically, we play 1 striker and 2 10s off each side. The whole idea is when the ball's in those 2 phases of play, in those 2 zones, is you've got 1 extra player than the other team, in a way. Like you're versing a 4-3-3, you got 3 centre backs, technically 2 wing backs, first 3 attackers, and then the other way you've got 2 centre backs versus 3 narrow forwards. So it's the idea of that formation is to win the second ball, but I think we're doing it a lot more in different situations, which I think is helpful. If that makes any sense to anyone.
Definitely makes sense.
It's just an overload of players to dumb it down in certain spots of the field.
Definitely. We've also got a young kid maybe making his second time on the bench, Shay Lacey. I'd love to see him get a start. What are your thoughts on this young kid, Anderson and Safwan?
I haven't seen him play yet. I only read reviews about him. Maybe to come in when we are 4-0 up should be all right. But to start, you might kill his career, man.
What position would he come in as? Because he's a winger.
Which position does he play?
he's Brian and Boomer.
Yeah.
Trey Scott, you reckon?
Yeah. Look, I remember when he came, he must have been 14 when he started playing for United. And just then he was the one you thought, okay, Phil Foden's coming through, left foot up. Okay, our Phil Foden's going to be Shay Lacey. And you saw him at 14, 15 that, yep, he's the player. It went quiet for a little bit in regards to development. Other players sort of taking the spotlight sort of thing. But he obviously has now matured to sort of the step up to senior football.
Was he the one that scored the amazing solo goal right from our box to the other end last week or something? Was he the one?
No, not
in the youth. Oh, that's a different player.
No, a different player. There's a few. Who scored that? Devaney who scored that guy. I know JJ Gabriel got the one away at Liverpool, but he has scored a few goals for reserves this year, Shay Lacey. But in terms of, I've seen a fair bit of him. In terms of, he's one of those players. Okay, does Phil Foden, does Cole Palmer? Do they play off the left? Do they play off the right? Are they 10s?
Bit of a Maverick style, is it?
Yeah, he's that player. If you were to build a team, you'd put him in the number 10. in regards to modern football, in terms of where those players play, they always sort of drift out wide into those channels. And you think Brian Mbeumo cutting in on his left foot. Now, is he going to have the output Brian Mbeumo does? Probably not. And Mbeumo is probably one of the best in the world in regards to output at the highest level. But in regards to he's going to go away to the AFCON, who do you put in there? Now, the straight swap would probably be, okay, Ahmad can go 10, 15 metres further forward in that position, of course. But if Shea Lacey can come in, and you just never know. Who would have picked Marcus
How old
Rashford
is he?
starting? Is he 18, I think?
Shea Lacey's 18.
He's
But just
18.
Time to
touching
start
on
giving him some
what
minutes,
Tom's
then I
saying
reckon.
there, I've watched a lot of him, and he drifts a lot. Not in and out of games. I mean, drifting into good areas and things like
Yeah,
that.
be worried
Like,
then.
no, like drifting into good areas, like around the 18-yard box, picking it up through the midfield as well. He's got a
Yeah.
good finish on him, mate. He's such a quality player.
So he's good at finding little pockets of space. in the
Yeah.
field.
But he also good
like
at putting players through those pockets as well. He works tirelessly. He's such a good player. He's quality. If you just get the chance, watch him, man. Like on MUTV, if you've got it,
I do.
it's well worth watching 18s and reserves.
I think what a lot of people probably don't know about him, and it's kind of weird. Sometimes these things can almost make a play in terms of they're a little bit different. But we think of Manchester United youth products in terms of, okay, man born and bred. He's a Scouser.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
actually, I do know
his
this
whole
one. He's
family
the one
are.
that lives
Yeah.
in the Liverpool family, doesn't he?
Yeah, his
I
brother,
think-
I think, wanted, like, because his brother played as well, or maybe plays, I don't know, but he chose Liverpool, and then she chose.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes it takes that little. I feel it was a Jordan in terms of defining me a little bit. It was a Maverick. Sometimes it's those they got that little bit of a different story, which gives them that little bit of an edge and something, a different visual and a different feel. And it's weird. He's going to get his chance at some stage, of course. The cutthroat nature, and it's not fair. Manchester United and football is not fair. He's going to have a good debut. I don't think a player can now really come in and be a 5 or 6 out of 10 and just do their job, and they're not going to play next week. They're just not at this level, and that's not fair. It's not like it was in the 90s, but a player does have to come in now and that hit the ground running on their debut. And fingers crossed when Shea Lacey, or whoever that player is, whether it be Shea Lacey or whoever the next debutant is, they're going to have to do that. And there's nothing better as a Manchester United fan to watch a youth player come through and take their chance. So fingers crossed it's him.
You know who I'd like it to be? I really would like it to be Kone. Like, just because we need that defensive midfielder. We're looking at, like Baleba, Wharton, Anderson. They're all like 20, 21, 22. And he's 19. Like, he's almost there. Like, I know, obviously, like, I feel like if we buy one of those three, especially like a Baleba, he's never going to get game time. Like, we'll just have to get rid of him without giving him the opportunity. And then, like, in the preseason, he was all right. And, like, that's what I'd like to see. That injury that he had really kind of killed it for him early on.
Yeah.
It's definitely tough who we're going to get. Well, January is going to come here quick. So, it's going to be very interesting because we don't. How many players did we buy last January? I think it was
Just
only like one. We usually only do the one or two, don't we? Yeah, it's always a tough one for United in that area. I think most clubs, I think Ruben he'll want to get someone, you would think, because
I assume it would be a loan because we don't have the finances, right? Like, we're ready to extra loans in the summer.
Yeah. Well, it's always seems to be
It's
our
hard
case,
to get
doesn't
a good loan though in January going into a World Cup. Because
Yes and no.
anyone
There's players out there. Like, think of, like, I'm not saying the same player, but think of last season. Spurs got Colomani, didn't they, on loan before signing him this season? I think.
I wouldn't want him.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you have opportunities for players who are like good. I don't want Colomani; he's not my kind of player, but you fit what they needed and this and that. And there's opportunities like that at big teams. Like, the question is, who's the CDM that you can do that with? That's the.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking more so of, like, who's.
I'd look at France. Like, who was that player that we were looking at? Oh,
I got Robbie. He wouldn't mind Semenyo from Bournemouth.
Are you actually asking the question, Johnny? Are you talking
I don't want
Tchouaméni from
Semenyo. I don't
Madrid?
understand that. But pardon, Jordan.
Were you about to say Tchouaméni from Real Madrid? The
I was not.
Centre defensive mid?
No, he plays well. He
I'm in
plays
my
well
conversation,
before
mate. Don't worry about that.
I don't understand the whole Semenyo thing. Like, he would have to play as a 10. We have Cunha, we have Mbeumo, we have Mount. Like, why are you getting Semenyo? Where are you going to play him? Like,
That's it.
Makes no sense.
It's just to drive his price up. That's all.
Yeah, because he's 65 million, right? In January.
I hope you go for Anderson. I mean, not me, but that guy is massive. that guy is massive, man. Really.
Put the boots on, mate. You'll do good.
I think Forrest would be lower without him. He's one of a kind. He's a box-to-box, new English kind of bulldog player. That gives his all. And this
I think if we get
Anderson
Anderson,
as well.
I think if we get Anderson though, we still need like a proper CDM because, like, we still need someone who would do the Casemiro role. And Ugarte
Isn't he one? Isn't he one?
Is more box to box, like you said, but yes, a bit more defensive. Probably like, I'm not going to say it's the same, but like like Roy Keane later on in his career was kind of like box to box, but still defensive in a way. It's more that like, but not like Baleba breaks the play, right? Like that's what he does. Like he just breaks it.
My fear with Elliot Anderson is, and I'm not saying he's not the player. I'm not saying not go get him. I'm not saying he's not brilliant or won't have a great career. But I think in our minds we have, okay, go get young British footballer from Nottingham Forest. I know you said Roy Keane. I'm fully aware you're not comparing him to Roy Keane, but I think that's the visual we have in our mind. Okay, go get the young best player from Nottingham Forest. He'll make the step up to Manchester United. In theory, on paper, that's what that move is. Go and get Elliot Anderson. In reality, we're buying a £120 million player. Yeah. And we're not getting a young British footballer. We're getting almost a potential world record transfer to come in and save Manchester United. And that's not what it should be. We should just be getting a talent and now nurturing him at Manchester United. But when you have to go and spend over £100 million on that player, that's simply not the case. And the expectations and everything around that player does change. So, again, I'm not saying don't go get him, don't go spend that money. I've just seen it how many times before. You can see a situation where it doesn't pan out, and we think, God, could that money have been spent better elsewhere? And again, I'm not saying I'll be over the moon if we can go get him. I just don't know if it's the right business.
Yeah,
that's why I was saying I would just go for French CDM.
You guys know when United enters the race,
they just have amazing CDMs.
When United enters the race for a player, the price just shoots up. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I will give you before we go into score predictions and things like that. I'm going to give you one that I found, which I think is nuts. Right, this is Ruben Amorim. Right, so if he loses tomorrow, it's 10 home defeats, and it'll be the fastest ever Manchester United manager to lose 10 games in a row. The last previous fastest was Albert Herbert, all but 23 games in 1892 to 1894. And if anyone doesn't know who he is, he was the chairman back in the day that actually got us out of financial troubles. So that's how far back we're going. He kept the place afloat. He actually used to own a candy shop to help United. So that's how far back it goes. If he loses his game.
What years were they? What years did you say, Adam?
1892 to 1894. Yeah.
Yeah, so United weren't actually. Yeah, they weren't actually Manchester United.
Yeah, it wasn't actually Manchester United. Yeah. No. So, but that's how far back it goes. Like, yeah.
But if we win,
we have to go to 1902, 1903 to be Manchester United, don't we?
We're gonna win, Adam. We're gonna win. We must.
We'll be winning tomorrow. I'm confident.
Yeah. That will be 4 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in 7 games, which is fucking good compared to what we were before.
Yeah. 100%. Look, I see improvements, and we're going to have. I see improvements, but I wish we could just put like a good 90 minutes together. Look, you're going to have your lows in your game. You're going to have your lows in your game. You're not going to just keep the way we're developing at the moment as a squad. We're not going to get through a game where we're not having that low, or we're just going to play just straight through the roof. It's not going to happen. But I just want to see us put 2 quality halves of football together. That's what I want to see. Instead of coming to halftime, or you played your first half and then at halftime you're going, oh, this could be anything the second half, or you know what I mean? That's what I want out of this side. I just want that. And I think most fans just want that themselves. Like instead of like last weekend, we said such a poor first half. And really, at the end of the day, the second half, I think it was a little bit better, but I don't think it was that much better. But
No,
the difference
Palace
was
tired.
the difference was in the second half, you could see the drive and the players. And then when you come to it, and it's funny when you read stuff, people go, is it Ruben Amorim telling them that, or is it just the players turning up? You know what I mean? It's so confusing as a fan right now, whether it's Ruben that's bringing this second half mentality, or why can't he do it in the first half, or is it, you know what I mean? The players just finally turning up because they're behind and they don't want to be criticised. It's a tough one. Anyway, let's go into score predictions and let's wind it up because Safwan's got to go. It's nearly an hour up. He's probably got a couple of minutes to go before he has to go. So let's put some score predictions on. We're 7 a.m. here and 4 a.m. in KL over there. So you won't be having a watch along, will you?
It's going to be watch along in the room, yeah.
Yeah, watch along in the room. But you did get to catch up with Steve Bruce yesterday.
That was I think it was about like 2 years ago, Anderson. I think was it 2 December? Yeah, 2 Decembers ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before Christmas. Yep.
Oh, so Brucey wasn't in KL recently.
Oh, really?
No, I said he wasn't because all the boys put photos up about Steve Bruce being there. So it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, two
Exactly,
Christmas
2 Christmas ago. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why do you blokes do that to me? Because then I get really jealous that you've got someone over there. Because over here, we're all trying to work out how he's at the Ashes. He's just come from Malaysia. He's at the Ashes in Brisbane, supposed to be here with the Barmy Army. But he has supposed to be at a function in the UK on the 5th of December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get the score predictions. Jordan, if you're still with
2-0.
us. 2-0 United.
Yep.
Tom?
I don't want to be boring, but I'll go with Jordan 2-0. Look, it could be anything, but it should be 2-0. If Manchester United, if they want it should be 2-0 Manchester United.
Yeah.
And comfortable, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be 1-0, and then we'll get a late goal at the end.
Yeah. Yoni?
Fuck you all. I'm going 4-0. We're going to have a Xerxes hat trick. And
Xerxes hat trick, mate. I would love that.
Nuno is getting a red card for being a little bitch.
Get that
Follow
on the
Paqueta, follow Paqueta out.
Safwan?
I'm going with 3-0. 3-0 to United. Yeah.
3-0. Geez, we're a confident bunch, aren't we? After last week. And
Hey,
we'll
we
leave
won.
it to the president. Anderson, what do you got?
I'm thinking 2-0.
2-0. Everyone's 2-0. I got Robbie in the group. He's got 3-1 win for United without Bruno. 2-1 win for United with Bruno. There you go.
I'd like
Bruno
to
is-
see us keep a clean sheet against West Ham. They're not a very strong
Especially-
attacking team.
We just got to
without Jared Bowen.
focus on Bowen, and that's
Yeah,
it. Just
yeah,
focus
Bowen,
on Bowen.
correct.
And
Oh, yeah,
if
he
you,
always
if you
scores
see
against
Suchek
the
making a run, just tackle him.
Yeah.
Just tackle him.
Bro,
Because
he
Suchek
loves
is the
just
king of
popping up at
that
the
shit.
back post, doesn't he, as well?
Oh my god, all the time. He scores aside from like Bowen's like goal in the final or whatever. Suchek scores every one of their big goals. It's like
He just pops
it's
up.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Bruno injured?
That's what everyone's predicting. So, like in his press conference, he was talking about there's two players that are out, and but he didn't want to drop the names or the 2 players that are coming in or anything like that. He was a little sly on what he was saying in his press conference today, keeping a bit of a reserve to it. So, yeah, I think everyone's just saying it because Bruno was holding his hamstring a little bit last week, so it could be anyone really. Euro, he might rest Euro after what happened. So, yeah. So, anyway, it would be interesting. 7 a.m. kickoff here, 4 a.m. in KL. My prediction probably, look, United always concede. I'd love a clean sheet for Le Mans, but I think it's going to be probably 3-1 United. I'm confident at Old Trafford. So, thank you everyone for coming on. Thank you, Anderson. Thank you, Sefwan. Happy days in Malaysia. We might have to do a Worldwide Reds tour in Malaysia.
Yeah, come.
Come over again.
Yeah. Thanks for having
I
me,
told-
guys.
Oh,
No
Yeah.
worries, man.
So thank you for coming on, Tom. Again, congratulations on your appointment. I'm very proud of that one. I love that he's the vice chairman. Keep Mark under control a bit, which would be nice.
Where's Mark anyway?
Be good to meet up
Mark?
tomorrow if you're there. Yourself, Mark, and yeah, good to have a chat.
Yeah, we're catching up with Juan tomorrow. Juan Mata, hopefully. He's going to
okay.
play. It's going to be warm here, so it's supposed to be like 38 degrees. So it'll be interesting to see whether they play the game or not, to be honest with you. Melbourne Victory versus MacArthur Bulls. So Tom and I are catching up out there, and Jordan may be coming, which would be good. And generally we catch up with Juan. He loves coming up to us and saying hello. I might even bring the Worldwide Reds flag out there tomorrow. So we get him to come straight over to us, which would be nice. So fantastic. We'll have to get Juan over to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
He would love that, I reckon. I'll put it to him tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Make an appearance during our annual dinner.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone
Thanks,
that was
Adam.
in the chat. Remember, get over to Worldwide Reds. Like, share, subscribe. Get in there. Like YouTube. Thank you, everyone. A lot in the chat. I think we had some bots in there today because I blocked probably about 20 people today. So
Well, there goes all our
Hear it.
followers.
there goes all our viewers. Mate, it was funny. It was going from 5 viewers to 20 viewers, and it just kept going up and down. So I'm thinking there was a few bots in there. I don't know why. But anyways, we get that. So thank you, boys. Come on,
No
United.
worries.
Come on,
Come on,
United.
win tomorrow.
Yes.
Come on, boys.
Take care, bye. Good night.
Talk to you later. See you later. Check you.
Yes, bye.
See you guys.
Cantona. Gary Neville looking for his first goal for Manchester United. What a time to get it. Oh, well